Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called It's Her Story, Sacajawea, a graphic novel written by Randiel Hidao Teton and illustrated by Ali McKnight. Sacajawea grew up in the United States, before it was the United States, on a Shoshone tribe. And she was captured at a young age by a neighboring tribe where she was captured and forced to do things for them that she otherwise might not have done. She ended up becoming the second wife of a French trader who had immersed himself into that culture, and in so doing, she ended up learning more languages than she expected besides her native Shoshone. That turned out to be a really important thing for her because Lewis and Clark and their fated expedition happened to stumble upon Sacagawea's new tribe, and they found her there, and because of her awareness of the surroundings and also her awareness of language, they took her on as a scout and guide for their adventure. And even as a young girl at 13 or 14 with a very young infant on her back, she traveled with Lewis and Clark across the country for months in order to help them reach their destination. And even into the present day, her legacy still exists, not only in the naming of various locations, also on a coin in the United States and in the hearts of Americans everywhere. This graphic novel introduces young readers to the story of Sacajawea from the perspective of a modern-day child who is learning the story for the first time. So as you're going through the book, you learn a lot about the things that led to Sacagawea's experience, all of the things that brought her to Lewis and Clark and how their expedition changed her own life and the life of her son. And through it all, there are many illustrations because it is a graphic novel, so great for those readers who prefer more of graphic literature as opposed to text, and you get to know a little bit more about what's going on through the lens of these illustrations. There's also some narrative text as well that helps give a little bit more context for some of the images and word bubbles as they are engaging with one another. So as you're going through the story, you see lots of landscapes in the United States, a lot of the surroundings that Sacajawea may have seen, and it helps immerse readers a little bit more in her story and how she impacted the future of the United States. The end papers also have a lot to offer, and so they set the stage for the rest of the story. And because of the design and the level of writing in the book, it's best suited for elementary school-aged readers, particularly those who are starting to get into biographies but aren't interested in a huge amount of text at this point. And it's a good starting point for future learning about Sacajawea. It does a good job of high-level understanding of what happened, but for readers who want to know more, they will be able to jump from this into additional literature as well. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.